The story begins with a high school girl named Busaba. She regularly teases and harasses other girls in her school and on her team. However, no one ever complains because Busaba tells everyone that the teachers favor her and would never listen to anyone else. After some time, a new student joins the school. Her name is Jin. She is placed in Busaba's class, and her first friend there is a girl named Erin. Erin and her group advise Jin to be friendly with everyone at school but to stay away from Busaba, who is considered strange and troublesome. Busaba often picks fights, creates problems, and yet the teachers never discipline her because she is their favorite. Apart from Busaba, the rest of the students are kind and welcoming. During one of their conversations, another girl named Hong joins them. Hong and Jin used to attend the same school, and she is happy to see Jin again. Hong tells them that there was once a girl like Busaba at their previous school. Everyone used to be cruel to that girl, but one day, Hong and Jin decided to teach her a lesson, after which she never bothered anyone again. Hearing this, Erin feels that Jin and Hong might be able to stand up to Busaba together. While they are talking, Busaba calls Hong from a nearby table and starts teasing her. Jin becomes very angry, realizing that Busaba constantly provokes others without reason. Later, inside the basketball stadium, Busaba begins teasing another girl from Jin's group. This pushes Jin beyond her limit. Jin challenges Busaba, telling her to stop teasing people and prove herself by fighting directly. Busaba accepts the challenge. A match takes place between them, and Jin wins, leaving Busaba humiliated. Furious, Busaba tries to attack Jin, but the coach arrives in time and takes Busaba away. Afterward, Jin asks her friends if they have ever wondered why Busaba behaves this way. The girls explain that Busaba was their senior who failed a year and had to join their class again. Because of this, she takes out her frustration by bullying others. Since she performs well academically, the teachers favor her, which is why no one dares to speak against her. While eating together, Jin accidentally spills something on her clothes and goes to clean it. On the way, she bumps into a boy named Gun. He behaves very friendly toward her, but one of Jin's friends quickly warns him to stay away. She explains that Gun is Busaba's friend, and if Busaba finds out, she will create trouble. Jin listens to the warning, but a few days later, Gun contacts Jin himself because he has started liking her. Jin also begins talking to him, and they gradually become friends. Everything continues normally until one day, Busaba calls Jin and proposes a truce. She tells Jin that they should stop fighting, mind their own business, and not interfere in each other's affairs. Jin agrees. Busaba then asks Jin to accompany her to an academy where she teaches young children. Jin suggests bringing Gun along, but Busaba refuses, saying that Gun has been talking to another girl recently. Hearing this makes Jin feel guilty, because she is the girl Gun has been talking to. Feeling ashamed, Jin agrees to go with Busaba alone. However, Busaba takes her to a class and, along with her friends, humiliates and mocks her. Enraged by this humiliation, Jin decides to report Busaba to the teachers. Busaba challenges her to tell anyone she wants, claiming it will not matter. At that moment, Gun calls Jin and advises her to stay away from Busaba, assuring her that everything will be fine. Meanwhile, Busaba gathers proof that Gun has been talking to another girl. She confronts Gun with the evidence, exposing him. A fight breaks out between them. Gun admits that he wanted an excuse to break up with Busaba because he was already tired of her, and he finally does so. This drives Busaba into a rage, and she begins beating Gun until the coach arrives and restrains her. Busaba's true nature is revealed to everyone. She is exposed not as a good student, but as a violent and aggressive person. As a result, the school management decides to expel Busaba, which only increases her anger further. The entire school lives in fear, worried that Busaba might do something extreme before leaving and cause trouble for everyone. The next day passes quietly, and nothing unusual happens at school. When the students learn that Busaba has finally left, they feel relieved and overjoyed. However, their happiness quickly turns into shock and sorrow when they hear that Busaba has died. Everyone assumes that she could not bear the humiliation she faced and ended her own life. A funeral is held for Busaba, and many students from the school attend together. At the same time, it is shown that someone is performing a ritual at a distant location. Soon after, the scene from Busaba's funeral is reenacted. Her coffin suddenly opens, suggesting that the ritual was meant to awaken Busaba's spirit. That night, everyone who attended the funeral is so frightened that they are unable to sleep and stay together in the same room. Just as they are about to fall asleep, one of the girls suddenly wakes up, as if Busaba is calling her. A chair suddenly turns toward her, as though Busaba is sitting on it, and the girl begins screaming. The other three girls calm her down and put her back to sleep, reassuring her that Busaba cannot come back because she is dead. The next day at school, the girls discover a large pile of trash left near the basketball court. Upon examining it, they realize that the items are related to black magic. Even the sweeper is terrified while cleaning them, explaining that such objects are used to summon spirits. Hearing this, the 4 girls become deeply frightened. However, it is time for practice, so they proceed as usual. While playing, one of their friends suddenly sees Busaba's spirit. She becomes so terrified that she faints. After regaining consciousness, she tells everyone that she saw Busaba's spirit. The girls realize that someone has performed a ritual and brought Busaba's spirit back into the world. During their discussion, the sweeper suddenly appears and begins acting strangely. This confirms their fear that Busaba's spirit has possessed her body. The sweeper then speaks in a terrifying voice, declaring that she is Busaba and has returned to take revenge on the 4 girls. She threatens that none of them will be left alive. Terrified, Jin quickly turns on her mobile phone's light and tries to drive the spirit away. The light works, and Busaba's spirit leaves the sweeper's body. Shaken by what happened, the 4 girls go to Gun and tell him everything. Gun takes them to a shaman. After examining them, the shaman confirms that their fears are true. A spirit has been summoned into the world through black magic, and it seeks revenge. If the spirit is not sent back within 3 days, it will kill everyone who wronged it. The girls ask how the spirit can be stopped. The shaman explains that they must first find the person who summoned the spirit. Once they do, they must burn the black magic items used in the ritual. This will force the spirit to leave. The shaman also gives them a dagger that can be used to kill the spirit if necessary. Before the shaman can explain anything further, Busaba's spirit appears and attacks shaman. The group flees in terror. From the very next day, Jin becomes determined to complete the mission of finding the person who summoned Busaba's spirit. Jin goes to Busaba's room to search for clues. Inside, she encounters Busaba's spirit, which knocks her down and accuses all of them of causing her death. The spirit threatens that revenge is coming and that everyone will be killed one by one starting the next day. Jin tries to use the dagger to kill the spirit, but Busaba suddenly disappears. Soon after, all the students are seen sitting in the examination hall. While the exam is going on, Busaba's spirit suddenly appears inside the classroom, visible to everyone. The students panic and rush out to the school grounds. The teachers try to calm them down, claiming that ghosts and spirits do not exist and that the students are only imagining things due to exam stress. Busaba then possesses the professor's body and announces to everyone that she is not a hallucination. She declares that she has returned for revenge and will not leave. This terrifies the group even more. At that moment, a girl reveals that she once heard Busaba's father practice black magic. Hearing this, they all assume that he must be the one who summoned Busaba's spirit. They immediately go to Busaba's house and discover a large collection of black magic items. Before they can take any action, Busaba's father arrives. Terrified by what he sees, he attempts to flee but falls from the roof and dies in the process. Despite their injuries, the group gathers the items from the house and takes them to the shaman. After examining them, the shaman instructs them to burn everything, assuring them that once this is done, Busaba will leave and they will all be safe. Following his advice, they burn the items and finally feel relieved, believing that the danger is over. Feeling relaxed for the first time, everyone begins heading home. Jin receives a call from Gun, and while going to meet him, she passes through a market. There, she notices an old man selling the same items they had just burned. She asks him about them, and he explains that these items are actually used to break black magic, not perform it. Hearing this, Jin becomes terrified. She realizes that the danger is far from over. Jin understands that Busaba's father was not summoning her spirit but was instead trying to stop it, and in doing so, only made things worse. She realizes that Busaba was never gone. Jin begins to wonder who truly summoned Busaba's spirit into this world. If her father had not done it, then the truth is even more frightening. After midnight, Busaba begins her rampage. She first tortures and kills the shaman, whom she had previously attacked. Then she goes after another friend and brutally kills her as well. Busaba next targets Gun. While driving, Gun feels someone following him, but he cannot see who it is. Terrified, he tries to escape. Jin attempts to help him, but she is unable to free him. Busaba reveals herself to Gun, and he loses control in fear. Busaba takes control of the car, causes a crash, and kills him, leaving only 3 survivors. Jin is now consumed by fear, wondering whether she or her remaining friends will be next. She searches for them and eventually finds one of her friends sitting in the basketball court, praying. Earn suggests that they call the others, but Hong reveals that everyone else is already dead. She says that only the 2 of them remain and that they must pray for Busaba's soul to be freed. Jin is shocked by Hong's words. Hong then asks if Jin remembers what they did to Busaba that night. The story shifts into a flashback, revealing the truth. Busaba did not die by suicide. She was killed. On the day Busaba was expelled from school, she was filled with rage and blamed Jin for everything. She moved toward Jin to attack her, and Jin pushed her away in self-defense. Busaba stumbled toward the railing, struck her head against the structure, and died instantly. When the girls realized Busaba was dead, they panicked. Fearing they would be blamed for her death, they decided to hide the truth. They staged the scene and created a video to make it appear that Busaba had taken her own life, clearing themselves of suspicion. Eun then asks Hong why she continued to support Busaba. Hong reveals that she loved Busaba deeply. She explains that the others killed Busaba without knowing the truth, and that pain drove her to summon Busaba's spirit so she could take revenge on all of them. Hong attacks Eun in Busaba's name, and at that moment, Busaba appears. Jin tries to save her friend but fails. Busaba then turns to Jin and tells her that she will not let her die easily. She promises to take revenge, kill Jin, and live inside her body, living the life she believes she deserved. The scene then shifts to some time later. Everyone at school believes that all 4 girls died in an accident that day. Only Jin and Hong are believed to have survived. However, the truth is that Jin is no longer alive. Inside her body now lives Busaba's spirit, continuing to torment everyone. The movie ends there.